Hello, welcome all entire Africa, welcome Jambo to everybody watching the program. I'm Josué Bolowa, welcome to the show. So I'm so delighted to be part of you. I'm also like to thank every people, all the viewers around the world watching this program at www.congodailogue.com. I'm Joshua Bolowal International. So today we'd like to make an English version talking about the news, actuality, what's happening here in South Africa, Africa and around the world. All right. So today I'm always delighted and honored to welcome and to receive the President Jemadari Kilele here in South Africa. With him, we are going to discuss about all this information. He has received also some of the SMSs and questions, but we'd like to gather with him so that he can answer to you what's happening in South Africa, what's happening in DRC Congo, what's also happening in Africa. All right. So without any further delay, I thank Papa Jean-Marie behind the camera. I also thank our coordinator, Mama Francine Ngembe. Big shout out to you. Let's go to the guest of the day. Welcome, Mr. Kilele.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the welcoming.
How are you doing?
I'm pretty well. I'm fine. I'm fine.
All right. I've received a call. You also received the same call for a person, one of the viewers around the world. I don't know where he called us from. Unfortunately, he did introduce himself, saying that, Mr. Kilele, we watch your videos, we watch your show talking about Paul Kagame, talking about Tutsi and Hutu, you are against them. But before we go to the point, let's talk about the DRC first of all and the President Joseph Kabila. We've been told that he made a trip to Zambia, and unfortunately on the way he had an accident. Can you tell us about, first of all, the purpose of this trip to Zambia? And what's happening if you got more information about Joseph Kabila trip in Zambia?
Thank you. Hello, Africa. It is a duty for all Africans to tell the truth about their governances and about their leaders. I know there is a French proverb which says, La vérité n'est pas, toute la vérité n'est pas bonne à dire. It means we can't tell all the truth. But for those who believe in the Bible and in the Quran, there are passages which say freedom will liberate people. I mean, truth will liberate people. So it is our bounden duty to tell the truth, come what may. And there are conflicts in Africa, recurrent conflicts, because people are not informed and they are misled by leaders who think they are the only authorized people to tell the truth, even if what they are telling the population is lie. And Africa has been managed all along through and by lies. Few leaders assumed what they said to the population, but the majority are actors to lie. So it is our constitutional right to tell the truth. As regard the guy you call President Kabila, who is no longer a president, is actually an outlaw. What we call in French, un hors-la-loi. He is an outlaw guy who should be apprehended and tried, judged and jailed. About his trip to Zambia, I'm not the one who caused the accident. An accident is an event which occurred unplanned. Yeah, it is an unplanned event. But when we have to interpret it, people will talk about mysticism, people will talk about witchcraft, will talk about the mistake of the drivers, etc., etc. In its context, well, one of the two or three that I've said can be applied. Maybe it is mysticism, which made that he had an accident, because in 1 month, this guy has had 3 consecutive accidents.
Yeah.
So it really raises questions, exclamation marks, and you name it. But such being, we should answer the question we ask: what was he coming to do in Zambia?
Yeah.
And this is a message which I direct to President Edgar Lungu of Zambia, that he must pay attention to Tutsi. I'm talking about a tribe in Africa called the Tutsi. The Tutsi inhabit Rwanda and Burundi, and they spread all over with their exile. You can find them in Tanzania, Burundi, Kenya, Uganda, Somalia, and you can find them everywhere because they spread everywhere in the world. But the part where they inhabit is Rwanda and Burundi. Mr. Lungu, President Lungu, we know that the fake Joseph Kabila, whose real name is Hippolyte Kajambere Kanambe. I don't know if he introduced to you as Hippolyte Kajambere Kanambe. That is his name, not Joseph Kabila. He's in trouble in Congo and internationally. Those who were supporting him, we are told and we know, little by little are abandoning him. So he came to Zambia to sign military agreement with you, Mr. Edgar Lungu, so that you could send a military force to Congo and protect him and protect the interest of many accomplices who have been terrorizing Congolese people. Because his power is drawing to an end, and the power of some of those who were supporting him has come to an end, the fake Joseph Kabila need more support. Reason why he came to you, to give him soldiers. And I know, we are told, we are well informed that the training has started of Zambian military that you want to send to DRC to go and protect Hippolyte Kajambere Kanambe and the interest of people who don't like Congo. This is an advice from me, Mr. President Edgar Lungu. Avoid being enticed by the fake Joseph Kabila. He has drawn in his game, him and Paul Kagame, many people who are looting Congo. We know Zambia as a peaceful country. We share borders as well as tribes. We have some tribes which are in Congo. You found them as well in Zambia. We even share names and surnames. I would advise you to remain as peaceful country as you've been. Nobody knows the Zambians as warriors like us Congolese people. For your information, Congo has been at war since 1482, when Portuguese stepped onto Congolese soil. And from that time up to today, if you read history very well, Congo has been fighting for its sovereignty, for its freedom. We know it is a mammoth task, but you as president of Zambia, don't send your compatriot to go to die in Congo, because we will kill them. You don't know warcraft, you Zambians. You are maize farmers You are farmers. Apart from that, you've got a good football team. That's all what we know of you. You don't know war. It is us who are warriors. And those bandits from Rwanda who are coming to lie to you. Yeah, you will propose money to pay your soldiers. But they will die for nothing. And I am asking the Zambian military to refuse to go to Congo. We are brothers and sisters. Don't go to kill your brothers and sisters. Our forefathers, our ancestors in Africa fought against colonialism, imperialism, and all the evils to give freedom to Africa and to Africans. We must promote Pan-Africanism in a good way, economically, socially, academically, and not igniting conflict among us because you want money. Zambia has got what we call copper field. The copper that we have in Congo extend under the soil of Zambia as well. So it can make you live. Don't rush for diamond or for gold that we find in Congo. You want to give a bad send-off to your compatriot who will be killed in Congo. So refrain from sending them to Congo. Kabila is lying to you. Don't accept the money that he is proposing to you. And he's lucky enough because he didn't die in that accident. He came out unhurt, but our prayer and our wish would be that he died in that accident. And probably he's going to die in another accident.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, Professor Kilele. I'm with him today at this stage. We are discussing about Africa's news and DRC, first of all. So by talking about the trip of, you are calling so-called the fake president. You also mentioned about Paul Kagame, all right, because it's like they are working together. But before you go to Paul Kagame, the question might be now, since he is called outgoing president or outlaw president, what makes him to resist up until today? Because actually the mandate has been finished since 2016 and the election is supposed to be done last year, but unfortunately we've heard that it's been postponed until this year, the 23rd of December 2018. Number one, he's supposed to step down. Why he cannot step down? What should be done to him? Mr. Kilele.
It is not him who is refusing to step down.
But he's the president.
Well, he was the president. He is no longer the president because his mandate has expired. And as we put it, he is an outlaw who deserves nothing better than arrest. He should be arrested. In a serious country, it's a guy who should be manhandled, put in prison, and judged for violating the Constitution.
But how come up until today nothing has been done?
Yeah, as I'm saying, it is not him who is refusing to step down. Okay. There are two things. The first thing is that Congo is the kingdom of milk and honey. When you step into Congo, we used to say you enter okay, but you come out KO. You get me? You are knocked out. When you enter, you are okay upstairs in Congo. When you want to come out, you are knocked out. You are KO, knocked out, because of the fabulous wealth found in Congo, which people don't have in their country. Yeah. So this is a little boy who grew up in Tanzania in total and abject poverty. He was a shoe cobbler. He was a roadside mechanic until he got it, and he was a taxi driver in Tanzania. He was even driving some Congolese musicians who were coming for concert in Tanzania. We don't want to quote their names, but it is known worldwide. And he got a chance to be selected by good destiny, maybe, enter the military of Rwanda. He was a bodyguard of Paul Kagame. And then today, he's the president. It's life. Yeah. He was a president. But it is not him who is refusing to step out. Point number 2 is that he's a prisoner of the international scavengers that we call international community, who are holding him as a prisoner. He is in their custody because up to now they are fishing around trying to find another stooge that they can use to become a president and defend their interest in Congo. So as long as they've been fishing and they are not finding anybody capable, so he's there, and they are still giving him time to extend his mandate to be what you call president. So he's a prisoner of the international scavenger. In passage, I must talk about a colored guy called Moise Katumbi, the owner, the president of a football club in Congo, the mighty POUCE Mazembe. He's probably the alternative candidate. The international community is dicing up on the board to try to replace Hippolyte Kajambere Kanambe, fake Joseph Kabila. Unfortunately, that guy doesn't have charisma and is uneducated, just like Joseph Kabila. Because Joseph Kabila is uneducated. He went to school up to grade 3. Moses Katumbi, the same thing up to grade 4. Now they want to put Moise Katumbi as president to impose him on Congo and Congolese people. Yet this guy is not a Congolese citizen. It is not because he owns a very strong soccer team, which has been winning a lot of trophies in Africa, that he deserves to be a president in Congo. Number one, this guy is not a Congolese citizen. Moise Katumbi is by birth a Zambian citizen and a Jew at the same time. The father was a Jew who immigrated to Congo after the Second World War, after Hitler massacred Jews in Europe. And he came, a fraction of Jews migrated to Congo. Now, he had workers because he was in a fishing business, in fishery. And he had a domestic worker who was a Zambian lady. That Jew had sex with his domestic worker, who was a Zambian, and gave birth to Moise Katumbi. So Moise Katumbi doesn't have Congolese blood. Whatever shit he can talk in international media that he want to come back to Congo, his country, he is not a Congolese citizen. He is another guy that we must arrest, judge, and possibly executed for hijacking the Congolese citizenship and being a wealth smuggler when he was a governor of Katanga province in the south of Congo. So Congo hasn't been having very good chance to have its real and authentic nationals to preside over the destiny of the country, starting from the late President Kasavubu, Mobutu. Anytime a real Congolese was emerging to govern the country, he was killed. You have seen Patrice Lumumba was killed. That was a pure Congolese. Laurent Kabila, the same. Now they bring a fake individual, uneducated and stupid, Joseph Kabila, to be the president. And now they want to bring Moise Katumbi, who is a mineral smuggler who has looted the Katanga province, and whose wife is a Rwandan, is a Tutsi. The international community want to impose him on Congolese citizens. We are against it and we will not allow it. We want to lead our own countries, our own country, as it is done everywhere. So Moise Katumbi has no chance to be president. We will make a war against him.
We will make a war against him. So you do you have any comment? Numbers will be on our screen. So keep in touch with us. Facebook Joshua Bolowa. You know, President Kilele's number will be also appear on your screen. Mr. Kilele, just before we go to another question, let's open a bracket. But question might be asked now: what can we do, or what should Congolese might do to avoid this damage or disaster? Because one after another, you guys are having a president which is not a citizen of the country, and you guys are tolerated, or as we said, they've been imposed to whoever. Is anything you guys can do at the moment? Because we are going toward December time for coming election, if we will have election.
Everyone who reads history knows very well that Congo was taken as a private property of the Belgian King Leopold II. But Leopold II was a poor man, even though he was a monarch in Europe. And he was not really a Belgian citizen. He descended from Germany. He was a German. To get Congo, the mission of exploration that is sent was financed by 15 countries. And America was the first country to recognize Congo as a state belonging to King Leopold II. It is not at this place where I will enumerate all the other 14 countries. Just for your intelligence, you should know, after exploring Congo and finding that Congo was what we call geological scandal, those countries signed an eternal agreement that they will never allow an indigenous citizen to rule Congo. They should always do or maneuver to bring outsiders that they impose to come and rule over Congo through malicious way. So it is a little bit difficult because there are superpowers who are holding Congo tight and who do all their level best not to leave Congo free. What to do? I am not a fatalist. We will continue to fight. We have been negotiating with these people. I wonder why do they have this insatiable greed which prevent them from dealing with us directly, but they prefer to go behind our back and find criminals like Kagame and many African countries which are preying on DRC and who claim to be real Africans but who are not promoting Pan-Africanism. It is a shame for African countries that we know of who are making wealth by stealing, looting Congo wealth, yet they're just a bunch of hypocrites, thieves and murderers. That's what they are. Congo will continue to fight through diplomacy, though it is tough because it is not us who are ruling the country for the moment. We are occupied by multinational forces, disguising under peacekeepers, but they are business organizations and criminals, unethical, who came to terrorize Congo and Congolese people.
It's a little bit disgracing and very shameful to see and to hear and to watch that it's a great country like a DRC and being manipulated, be looted, being destroyed, while the population is crying in a high level of poverty. Education, you can't even talk about it. Medicine, you can't even talk about. Economics is one of the poorest country. While we call it a rich country, but in practice, it's one of the poorest country. You know, reason why Congolese all over the world are spreading out to look for refuge, to look for exit, to look for exile. You know, to look for a better life out there. While they live their minerals and riches and wealth we do have in DRC, it's so unfortunate. That brings me to ask you, Mr. Kilele, about United Nations. They're still in mission for, I don't know, past 10 or 12 or 15 years, even 20 years they've been there. We do call them the peacekeepers. So what they're really doing after all happening in DRC?
They are doing something, but not peacekeeping.
Meaning?
They are looting, they are undercovers and covering the looting of the country. They are promoting the demographic depopulation of Congolese people. They are encouraging rapes, theft, and the shaming of Congo. We actually do not need the United Nations troops in Congo. As you say, for the past 17 or 20 years they have been in Congo, and they are acclaimed as the biggest United Nations missions in the world. It's a lie, because they're not achieving anything. News across the world are showing mass killing of the population people by, first of all, Rwandan troops, Ugandans and Burundians. And secondly, by stupid Congolese soldiers and policemen who are utilized, forced, I can say, forced by the current government to kill their own compatriot. And this in the presence of the United Nations troops. If really they were sent to Congo to maintain peace and security of the people and their assets, they wouldn't have left the police or the military to kill unarmed and innocent and impoverished citizens. The fact that people are being killed all the time and they are there, it means their mission in Congo is a flop and they have to leave. Unfortunately, we don't have a strong parliament. The parliament that we have is not our parliament. In other countries, this would be the duty of the parliament to demand their immediate removal and departure from our country. We got a very bad souvenir of these thieves from United Nations, from the country where they recruit them. Many are recruited from poor countries like Bangladesh, like Pakistan, countries, India, where you find people catching mice, they send them as soldiers, they become general in our country. But when you go to India, some of them are in the caste of poor people who are eating lizard and mice. They come to our country, they become generals and general majors. These people in 1960 were there. 60, 61 were there. It was actually the first United Nations missions in the world in history. Our former Prime Minister, Patrice Emery Lumumba, was killed in Congo while they were there. So what is their raison d'etre to come to our country? They are just being imposed to help looters to loot our country. They're not doing anything. The parliament that we have is a parliament of adventurers. You find people who are not Congolese who are full in that parliament. Unemployed people picked up from anywhere, they come there, they become Congolese. And in the parliament, they don't defend anything. They go to parliament, by 10 o'clock you see them on the street, in beer halls, drinking, being in hotels with ladies, that's all. And earning fabulous salaries, $6,000 to $7,000, while teachers are not getting paid, while medical doctors are not being paid, while there is no circulation of money. But they cover the looting, the shaming, the humiliation of Congo and Congolese people. If a nationalistic government would come to power, we would ask for the removal of United Nations troops and probably to pull out from the United Nations. Because it has never helped us, the United Nations, as well as the African Union. Many Africans are in Congo, among the 52 nations which sent troops to Congo. These are Africans who should promote Pan-Africanism, love among us. But many of us, envious and jealous, like the shit of Kagame, they are there to loot Congo. Yet we are all Africans, and through bilateral agreement, we could have exploited our resources and developed our continent. Through some bilateral and multilateral agreement. But they have accepted to enter agreement with devils and to shame their own African brothers and sisters. What is the raison d'etre of being member of the African Union, member of the United Nations, if those organizations are not promoting humanity, are not respecting human dignity, are not promoting the welfare of at the universal level? Why should they be happy with mass killing, poverty of other populations? It is a shame for Africa. And another will the so-called white man respect us when you see an African killing another African. So, should, as I'm repeating, a nationalistic government come to power, we will pull out of the African Union as well as the United Nations, because those organizations are criminal organizations.
So their presence in DRC is really useless.
Pointless.
Mr. President Kilele, there is a march is going to be organized on the 25th of February this year, led by the Catholic priests, Catholic Church, all those ways they are making to free the country, to push the president in power to go away, to step down. Do you think, Mr. Kilele, the organization of marching around the city, around the country, is going to be fair and convinced the president in power to step down?
Well, marching is what we can call democratic expression of a country's citizens. It is one of the ways to put a pressure on the regime in place. It is one of the ways. And we have seen that everywhere in the world. Since time immemorial, people have been marching to express their rejection of the government or the method of working of the government. But in an occupied country like Congo, one should doubt whether it is genuine, whether it is not a manipulation by the government in place. But still we can give them credit of doubt. Maybe it is genuine, it is really being organized by the Catholic Church, as you said. Yeah. We support what the Church is doing. But historically, if we have to go back where Church comes from and where African colonies or African continent come from, historically, we wouldn't believe in the deeds of a church, mostly Catholic Church, Christian Church. These people are the epitome of hypocrisy in the world. I am born and baptized Catholic. I am educated partly by Catholic. And still I can sing those beautiful hymns we used to sing the time we were little kids in schools of Catholic Church. I do respect them. But you know, as I was saying historically, if Africa has been colonized, it was by the decree of the Vatican. If my memory is still sharp, it was probably in January 524 or in January 454. I am a little bit introverting the figures. It was in the 15th century when, no, in the 5th century, excuse me, when one of the Vatican Pope, I forget the name, but it will come maybe along the time, signed a decree which we call in French la bulle du pape. He signed a decree instructing or ordering the King of Portugal, Alfonso, I think, the Fourth, to send explorers, colonialists, to go into Africa and colonize Africa and kill Africans and destroy kingdoms and empires, loot Africa, destroy their cultures. It is in the archive historically. It is a Roman Pope who permitted the colonization of Africa and the looting of African people and their culture. So how on earth, after so many centuries, these people can come and tell us they are for and with the people? This is a scandalous hypocrisy. All along, for the past 20 years since Rwanda has been in Congo, the Catholic Church didn't see that Congolese people have been murdered daily, have been impoverished and dispossessed of their land. Where was the Catholic Church? Where were these priests who want to give us a last-minute lessons that they love us? We don't need them. They are accomplices to evil which has been happening in Congo.
I mean, you are not okay with the march the Catholic organizing to support?
No, I said I support. It is one of the methods.
Yeah, but you're wondering how Catholic they are behind that.
Of course, because these are the people who allowed this criminal of Kanambe to prolong an extra time mandate, because when they had a conference at what they call the conference of Senko,